Thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me featuring my 2023 Chanel favorites. So if you haven't seen that and you want to hear more about why I love these products, make sure to head over there after this, but today we're going to see the application. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting off with Le Base Illuminatrice, it's been my go-to primer, as you know. I'll show you half with primer because I think that's always a good comparison if you've never seen this before. Okay, so we've got half primer here, no primer. I noticed my foundation lasts longer when I put this base on first. Plus, it also allows me to apply less foundation because it's a little bit blurred to begin with. So that way not as much makeup is required to take care of discoloration, dark spots, and uneven skin tone. Okay, now going with my favorite foundation, we've got here the SUBLIMAGE Le Teint. And I'm willing to compromise on the jar because it's that good. This is the one that did a really nice job when we had some pretty significant rain. So much so that we were trenching outside and I had this combination on, and that really showed me how great this foundation is. Okay, put on a little too much here. Just have my Shiseido brush here. It does a really nice job. Foundation, no foundation. So you can really see that golden undertone coming through because again, this is the shade BD41. And this is my perfect shade match in Chanel products. So you can see why I love this so much. But you can see it really takes down that redness, evens out my skin tone, really blurs that discoloration, and it also smooths out the texture of my skin. Yeah, it's beautiful. So this has that diamond powder technology in there, and I love foundations that have a powder element built in because that really does a nice job of blurring, refracting the light, and it has a beautiful texture as well. So that is why I love this one so much, especially for my skin type. So if you've not yet seen the video where I go through all of my Chanel foundations, I talk about that a lot. Skin type, knowing your skin type, and your ideal shade match also I think is really key. To me, my skin type really impacts the way a foundation performs, and I'm sure you've noticed this too depending on your skin type. So I have combo skin. It's more oily in the center. It doesn't start out that way though, it becomes more oily as the day goes on, and then the exterior is drier. So that's why I say combo, but it's not dry where I have flaky patches or anything like that. Going in with this amazing eye concealer, and you can see really how brightening it is and how a little goes a long way. I put too much again. You'd think I would know by now how much to apply, but this brush does a really nice job of just buffing it out. So I don't use any of the concealer colors, but I use the color corrector in Pesche, which has a peachy tone to it, which is great for my darker spots. So that's why I pull for this. And according to the ingredients listed, it looks like the same composition as their concealer the last time I checked. Okay, going in with the cream bronzer here in 392. And I just have here a reference number 4. Okay, let's go in with brows. I love the Duo by Chanel. It's in number 3. Actually, it's quite a fast product to use, a bit of a learning curve though. I have a Patrick Ta brush that I'm using. So this is the powder side first. So I like to draw a line and then pull the powder up so the line is more defined on the bottom, but then it's fluffier almost at the top here, and then I'll go in and kind of fill in. And then I'll go in again on the end here just to make it more defined, and I'll extend it a little bit. This is just the powder side right now. And brows make a world of difference. So again, I start in the middle here and deposit the product, and then I go towards the front because then it's less product and then it's not as intense. And I'm gonna go in with the waxier side here and just put the brows in place. Oh, I haven't even powdered yet. Hold on, let me powder. Yeah, usually I powder before I do my brows. I don't know why I did that. So we're gonna go in with this La Mer brush. I'm gonna take the loose powder here in number 30. It's a nice peachy tone. Taking a bit of the pressed powder here now, just to perfect even more. I'm going to add a little bit of eye primer. This is by Chantecaille. And now the reason all this powder works my face is because I will get more oily as I wear my makeup, so it actually helps keep things in place. And then it does look more beautiful over time, which is one of the benefits of having more oily skin. Going ahead with my favorite palette, Tisse Rivoli. I'm going to take this and go all over the lid. It's a bit of a one and done to start with. This is a rougher number 16. Taking this 201 by BK Beauty, we're going to go in with this next shade right here, right in the crease. Taking this rougher number 13 mini, we're going to go in with the deepest shade. I'm going to take this color right here, and I'm just going to help blend that in a little bit. And then finally, let's take this lightest shade right here. I'm going to add that. I'm going to add that right in the center. Blend. This is an Esam number B34. Just taking this Chantecaille eyeliner brush, I'm going to take the deepest shade here, make that an eyeliner. Now, this is not going to be the most intense eyeliner, but it's soft. I'm just going to add a little bit of mascara and then we'll keep going. Okay, let's go ahead and clean up the eye area as usual. I'm going to take my Clé de Peau concealer in Honey here, and I just apply a little bit here to the ends. So I have some darkness in that area just because of the contours, so I like to brighten it with concealer. Let's just take this Ray Morris number 20 brush. Taking Victoria Beckham's Trench here, just to cancel out the redness and brighten slightly, right under the lash line. We're gonna go in with blush now. I have Rose Ecrin here, and you'll see why I love this so much, because it's just the softest pink. I really hope this is gonna be restocked at some point soon. So we're gonna do a combination, Rose Ecrin, and then we're gonna take a little bit of Jersey, just to buff that in. It's a bit softer, a little bit warmer. Has a bit more glow to it. So I'm just running it around the perimeter here. And I love layering blushes because it gives a lot of dimension, and I think it can soften the blush as well. Like, I used a lighter, softer blush on the exterior, so I think it blends a little bit better. We're gonna go in also with this technique that I love. We're gonna take a bit of this blush here, and this is a cream blush. Just taking a Clé de Peau blush brush here for this. Just getting some on the brush. It's kind of vivid, but we're gonna go over that powder just to add a little bit more glow back to the cheeks. And we're just gonna focus it more on the high points. Again, building more dimension to that blush. And then finally, let's take Sculpting, which is my highlighter of choice with Chanel. It's got just the slightest glow in there. I'm gonna take the same brush, same Clé de Peau brush. I'm going to add that to the high points of the cheek. And I think drier skin types would like this as well, just because it adds some hydration, especially to an area that can show texture if it's a powder highlighter. Okay, let's go in with a bit of Victoria Beckham. We have the contour in Marble. I'm gonna just contour the nose slightly. And then let's take a little bit of that Sculpting again, this highlighter. I can find a really narrow brush here. This is number V09. Let's go in with the lips. So I have a couple of lip products here. This has been my daily favorite lip by Chanel. It's a really easy to wear color. It's in the Rouge Coco Baume, and this is in the shade 914. So this is a really easy color for me to wear. It's like a muted tone of my lip color. There's just a hint of like a brownish tone, which I normally don't love, but I think it works here. I guess maybe more of a beigey tone. I think it really works well on my coloring. It warms up my lips just slightly to kind of match my complexion, which is why I think it kind of melds really well, especially if I have a more dramatic eye. And this is more dramatic for me these days. I don't wear that much eye makeup. So I love it with this, but I also love the Rouge Lustre. So this is number 832. And I should go with just enough color. Then I'll take these pointed cotton buds and then just clean up the edges just to soften that as well, because this is a pretty intense lipstick, but it's also really hydrating. And even though I have combo skin, my lips can be more on the dry side. So this really helps hydrate them and then keep them really pretty looking. But that is it for my Get Ready With Me featuring my Chanel favorites. Let me know what you love by Chanel, because I think depending on skin type, it really is going to influence what you like in terms of your foundation, which is one of the biggest factors. And then of course, shade match I think is one of the next things to think about. Again, make sure to tune into that video about the don'ts of Chanel foundations if you have not already seen it. And let me know what your favorites are from Chanel, because I feel like I've tried so much, but I'm sure there's something that I missed. But I'd love to know what your favorites are, what you've been loving, what you've been wearing the most, and how to apply them. If you have some techniques that you think would be great to share, please leave them in the comment section below. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.